I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal, I'm dropping bombs, you know. No, I'm not stopping, no. Conquer the obstacle, to the top, here I go, think I'm...
Okay, you beautiful fandom, welcome back to the back of the semi-truck, and this is the episode that a lot of people have been waiting on, and hopefully the slight little ambiance that I've got, because I never know if y'all can hear the background noise, but I've got quite a little bit of raining going on, so the ambiance for me, as of right now, until I put these on, is kind of nice. I like whenever it is raining a little bit inside this truck, because I can cut the truck off and just listen to the sound of the rain hitting the truck, and it sounds really nice. And yes, by that, if you are new around here thanks to this episode, welcome to the back of the semi-truck, you beautiful fandom. Hopefully I remembered to tell y'all, welcome to the back of the semi-truck, and if I didn't, well, welcome anyway, because, yeah, and yes, I am a little bit hyper right now, because I have just finished a Bang energy drink, and I like these because they are filled with, you know, a little bit of creatine and 0 calories, and it really gets you kind of a little hyper. Granted, yes, I know energy drinks are not good for you, but with 0 calories, it's a good thing for me considering I'm on a diet. And yes, don't worry, this can was emptied and I just filled it back up with water. I am still on my diet. For those of you who are following along with the diet and all that stuff, I have lost 30 pounds since I started. And with that 30 pounds, I gained like 2 of them back over, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. I gained a couple pounds back, but you know what? I got back in the new year, and I'm getting back in the rhythm of not eating the same things that I was eating. It was the holidays, so, you know, hey, fair's fair. You know, you got to eat some stuff. So, with that said, yes, you know, I can see a difference. I've actually seen some difference in the camera as well. I have... You know, especially with a shirt that I was wearing the other day, it was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I know y'all don't care about all that. Some of y'all actually do, and I thank y'all for that. But I know a lot of people are like, just shut up, get on with the show, because, yeah, I know there's a lot of people wanting me to watch this one, and yes, with that said, I am about to jump into it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to say anything about before I jump into it, though. And I don't think there is. So I'm going to do something a little unusual, than I normally do. And that's to jump into it in about 3 minutes as opposed to 4. Granted, I know whenever I first had the thought of watching this episode tonight, in my head, I was going to say like 5 different things. But honestly, I can't remember what those were, so it's not really important. So if I could think of those as the intro's going on, I'll mention it then. So I'm going to shut up. 3, 2, 1, and play. Really? 3, 2, 1, and play. There we go. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I do that. If you're new around here, sometimes I'll hit the play button and I miss it. But, you know, hey, that's what happens when I'm trying to hit the button so I can bring my arm up real fast like that. And usually whenever I'm putting this stuff together, usually when it's halfway up like that, granted, yes, it's moving fast, so it's kind of really blurry at that moment, but when my hand's halfway up like that, that's my cue to put the video right over here. So that's the reason why I do the countdown and stuff like that. So, and if you're here and you didn't hear what I had to say in the last episode, I do want to watch this episode, and upon request, not everyone, but there's a few people that told me, go ahead and watch the episode with us, and then go off, watch it on your own a couple times, and then, you know, come back and give your afterthoughts. So I'm going to give a quick couple minutes of afterthoughts after this, and then come back to y'all after I've watched it a couple more times on my own, so that, you know, I'm actually paying attention and not turning to y'all and, you know, trying to interact with y'all, you know, because we are sitting here watching this together. The only difference with me and y'all watching it is this is my literal first time And this is probably y'all's 67th time, I don't know. But I timed that great once again. Let's jump into this episode. What did you do, Ozpin?
Locked away by her
Locked
cruel
away.
father, Salem was a girl who desired but one thing. Freedom.
Freedom, huh? Locked away, huh?
She lived in a time when kings and their kingdoms were plentiful, when men and women were capable of
And I
greatness,
have glanced
and
at the
magic
comments
was
of the
a gift
previous
from the
episode,
gods that all could wield.
but I haven't actually dived into them yet.
And yet there she sat within her tower. Until one day,
Sitting in a
legendary
tower.
hero came to brave the challenges within the tower's walls.
Is that Crow?
The people
Oh, wait,
of the
okay.
lands knew him as Ozma.
Ozma.
Unlike those who had come before,
So this is
warrior was
our-
not driven by the prize
I
of
guess
the
we could say
unloved man.
Ozpin Prime.
He fought only for righteousness, and his pure heart and courageous soul prevailed.
Okay. And I'm taking a wild guess. Oh, hold on before I speak.
They escaped the wretched fortress.
Ah,
And yet, something bound them together.
really?
Ozma had been ready to give his life for justice countless times, but now saw a woman worth saving it for.
I'm gonna say it in a second, don't worry.
And Salem, to her surprise, found her freedom not in the outside world she had yearned for.
Oh, and this episode is
but
like
in the
26
eyes of
minutes
the man
long.
that had saved her.
So, where should we go now?
Wherever you'd like.
Okay.
The two fell deeply in love, planned adventures.
This is a
around
good
the
fairy
world,
tale so far. I
and
like it.
happily
I know
ever after.
something's gonna happen though. But, as I was gonna say,
That's what should have been.
okay. And
Ozma, the infallible hero of legend.
what I was gonna say earlier
fell ill, and where
was,
all
you
the
know,
beasts and
Salem's
blades of the
obviously
world
based
had
off of
fallen
Rapunzel.
short, a single sickness prevailed.
In a tower locked away. Okay, so
The gods let this happen.
The gods,
Oz is dead.
brothers of light and darkness,
Okay.
creation and destruction. Salem prayed they would see the injustice that had befallen her love and make things right.
Okay, so the light and the dark gods
The
came
domain
together.
of light was a sacred place. It was here
Huh.
the elder brother dwelled beside his fountain of life and creation. It was here where mankind would fall to ruin.
Huh. Okay. I feel like I kind of get a gist of where we're going with this. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't know how I feel about this God of Light person here. It kind of just feels weird.
Please bring him back to me.
I understand your pain, but you demand of me that which I cannot make so.
Really.
Life and death are part of a delicate balance.
Oh,
So,
she goes to the God of
you
Darkness,
do
though.
it then?
To disrupt the cycle of...
That's not fair.
That's not fair!
Salem. Getting a little upset, huh? Well, rightfully so. Her life, her love of her life died, so of course she's upset. But, huh.
No.
Okay, so
God of darkness.
God of Darkness. Let's go over here.
None dared to enter his home. As
So
men knew what monstrosities
I'm presuming-
emerged from his blackened pools of annihilation.
she sold her soul to the God of
And so
Darkness.
you must understand the Dark Lord's surprise when he found a lone woman kneeling before him.
Okay, so the God of Dark. Well, the God of Light Well, okay, my thought is a little scattered there.
She told
But
her loss,
I like
and
the
professed
feeling.
that
I
she
like the
knew
look of the
only
God of
he
Dark.
could answer her prayers, all while careful to make no mention of his elder.
Rise, child, and let your faith in me be rewarded.
It's interesting how I like the God of Darkness's look about him. I think it was the way he came up out of the puddle. And you did bring him back. Huh.
Where am I? What is this? Where am I?
It's okay. Everything's going to be okay.
Huh. Oh.
What have you done?
See, I don't know what it is about him. I don't like the God of Light.
Please, brother.
I mean, I don't know his
You may
character,
bask in the powers of creation, but you do not own.
but
This
I don't know.
is not creation.
Do not lecture me.
I will do what I must to maintain order.
Oh.
No!
Oh, that would suck.
You dare enter my domain and show
She
such
literally had the love of her life back.
Ozma!
And then, oh my gosh, what are y'all
I
doing?
now see wherever it
They're gonna
goes.
keep taking it back and forth from her.
To pray at my feet before your own, so do your right to lay your judgment upon.
Or at least I thought they were gonna play the game of taking Oz back, you know, back and forth. Okay.
I know we have our differences, but I have not come here with the aim to control you. The same, however, cannot be said for her. This woman came to you only after I denied her pleas.
Oh,
Pleas that would have disrupted the
wow.
balance that we created together.
You're making them feel low now, knowing that she came to him before you.
You monsters!
Oh my gosh.
Give it back!
Yeah, y'all are literally taking her love away. Bringing him back, taking him away, bringing him back. Oh my gosh. And now y'all are doing this to her.
When you first came to me, I did pity you. But it is clear now that your selfishness and arrogance have led you astray.
What did you do to me?
I have made you immortal.
Immortal?
You cannot die. You
Huh.
cannot be with your beloved.
So long as this world turns, you shall walk its face.
Oh my gosh.
You must learn the importance of life and death. Only then.
That is crazy. Oh gosh.
Salem was a prisoner once again. Her fruitless attempts to reunite with Ozma eventually became nothing more than acts of spite and defiance against the gods.
Gosh.
But perhaps the gods were not as
I heard her
powerful as they
grunt,
seemed. She had
so she
lied
could
to
feel
them,
pain
turned
still.
them against one another. They were fallible. If she were to turn humanity against light and darkness, she could rid herself of their curse. Or at the very least, she could make them suffer.
Kind of starting to like Salem a little
traveled
bit.
From one kingdom to another, telling tales of how she stole immortality from the gods, welcomed any swordsman to cut her down, and demonstrated her
Oh,
powers.
that's actually a good
Kings and
idea
queens in awe, she
by
pulled them
Salem
deeper
to
into
gain
her spirit.
power.
She painted them pictures of a time when they would no longer have to watch their loved ones wither and die, when they could claim the powers of their creators for themselves, and in turn perfect their own design. All they needed to do was destroy their old masters.
Oh, okay.
That Salem would
She's
learn
trying to
from
bring
her
war to
eternal
them.
curse.
Yes.
And she did. she learned that the hearts of men are easily swayed.
Who has led you down this path?
Huh. What did y'all think was going to happen?
Used against me.
Whoa, actually, that was quite a bit of damage dealt right there. Wow. I thought what he was going to do was send the little ball into Salem, turning her into what she was, but that didn't happen.
You thought there was no greater punishment we could bestow upon you?
I'll come back. I'll tell the rest of the world of this massacre. Build a new army.
You do not understand.
Whoa, wait, they killed
One left.
all those people.
You are all that remains of humanity.
Okay, wait a second. No, they
This
killed
planet,
everyone.
but it is merely a remnant of what it once was.
Remnant,
You
rolled a
will learn
remnant.
from this failure. I hope that you will learn from yours.
No, you can't leave. You can't leave. Come back.
Still demanding things of your creators.
Oh, that's how the freaking moon got destroyed. Oh my gosh. And she has to live through this.
Once again, Salem was alone. She cursed the gods. She cursed the universe.
Well, at least now I know how the moon got
Cursed everything.
destroyed.
Everything but herself. She wandered the face of the planet, awaiting a death that would never come, until fate led her back to the land of darkness. This was it. This had to be it. The Brothers Grimm, the pools of black that continued to give rise to horrific nightmares.
Oh, that's a
If the
nice
fountain
little
of life
picture right
granted
there
her
that I just saw with the reflection of the
then
moon.
surely the pools of Grimm would finally take it away. She was wrong. This force of pure destruction could not destroy a being of infinite life.
Oh, wow.
Instead, it created a being of infinite life with a desire for pure destruction.
And there she is.
And in time, she would find her adversary.
Okay, but... Okay, yeah, I was about to ask, where is he? Okay, see... But Oz was the love of her life, so does she want to kill him, or does she want to bring him
Ozma,
to her? To be with her?
Where am I?
we are between realms. I'm afraid a tragedy has befallen your home at the hands of my brother. We have chosen to depart this world, but in our absence, I would like to offer you the chance to return to it.
I don't understand.
Okay, so the God of Light and the God of Darkness have left the world a remnant.
And in time, your kind will grow to walk its face once again. However, without our presence, they will be but a fraction of what they once were.
Huh.
Creation, destruction, choice, and knowledge were the ideals upon which humanity was made.
Okay, so that's where that's what the relics are.
I leave them behind.
I'm definitely gonna have to go back and
yourselves.
hear that again.
If brought together, these 4 relics will summon my brother and I back to your world. And humanity will be judged. If your kind
Oh,
has learned
crap.
to live in harmony with one another and set aside their differences, then we shall once again live among you, and humanity will be made whole again. But if your kind is unchanged, if you demand our blessings while still fighting amongst yourselves, then man will be found irredeemable.
Yeah,
Your world will be
okay,
wiped from existence.
but that's really difficult to
Until
do,
your
dude.
task is complete, you will reincarnate, but in a manner that ensures you are never alone.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
That world just isn't as dear to me without her.
That is terrible.
If I may, I'd rather return to the afterlife to see Salem.
You will not
They,
find her.
they want to make it where Salem doesn't die and is forever alone, and they want to have him where he's always with somebody, forever with somebody. That's kind of sickening.
Comfort, you will only find pain. So, will you?
I'll do it.
Very well. Our creation rests within your hands.
And so, Ozma was
Okay.
reborn.
Okay, so you're reborn over and over and over, huh?
Where am I?
Okay. Well, I already knew that he was born over and over, but...
Thank you. Please, tell me your name. Who are you?
He didn't know.
Ozma had found himself in a world completely unfamiliar to him. Cities looked different. Creatures known as the Faunus bore fangs and claws and were locked away in cages.
Huh.
And without the blessing of the gods, no one could perform magic like mankind was once capable of.
Okay.
No one but himself and a woman known as the Witch.
Ah, so Oz
During his
and the
years of
Witch
travel, he heard the
are the
same
only
frightening
two
whispers that spoke of a terrifying
that can
sorceress
perform magic
who
without
commanded
dust.
dark powers in the wilds among the beasts and monsters.
Well, unless the
Ozma was
witch...
convinced that this witch was Salem.
Yeah, I was about to say, unless the
and
witch is
decided
Salem.
He needed to see what she had become.
Oh, he's not gonna like what she's become.
Call it magic or call it something stronger.
Huh.
But in that moment, the two knew exactly who it was that stood before them.
Okay.
What do we do now?
Whatever we like.
As
I like
Salem
that.
and Ozma recounted the events which had brought them back together, each withheld parts of their story. Salem, fearing Ozma would reject her, blamed the end of the world on the gods. Ozma, still unsure of where the truth lay, kept his task and the relics a secret. Though time passed and all seemed well, Ozma's conversation with the god
So you
of
were
light
keeping
still
secrets
lingered in
even
his
back
mind.
then.
He had found happiness, but humanity seemed more divided than ever before.
Well, yeah.
Are you surprised?
Humanity's always
This
going to be
world is
divided.
quite literally godless. These humans have no one to guide them. Perhaps that's all they need.
What are you saying?
We could become the gods of this world.
That's what I was
Our
just
powers
thinking in
surpass
my
all
head.
others. Our souls transcend death. We can mold these lands into whatever we want. What you want. Create the paradise that the old gods could not.
I hate saying it, but she got a point.
Hearts of men are easily swayed.
Hearts of men are easily swayed. I see how her way of doing it is, though. Ah. Never mind. That wasn't her way. Haha. These gods are obviously going to have to come back into play.
The two amassed a following. That following grew into a prosperous kingdom. And at the head of that kingdom blossomed a family.
What? Wait, what? Huh. Okay. Oh! The 4 maidens! What the frick? Those are the 4 original maidens, I bet.
Are we sure this is right?
So you became the god of darkness, and you became the god of light.
We have to spread our word and destroy those who will deny it.
Ooh.
What are we doing?
Whoa.
This isn't what he asked of me.
Seeing yourself in the mirror, huh?
What did you say?
Mother! Father! Look!
You're
It was
able
a
to do it
miracle.
without
Their
dust.
children could perform magic. But what should have been a joyous occasion was short-lived. Ozma told Salem everything. The true reason the god of light had brought him back. The relics that lay scattered around the
Well,
world.
I mean, that wasn't a bad thing.
The
He
day
did
of
tell the truth
judgment He
finally.
had been told to prepare for.
Don't you see? None of that matters anymore. Why spend our lives trying to redeem these humans when we can replace them with what they could never be?
She's got a point. Just saying. See, that's why I'm not God. Oh. Holy crap, everything's clicking in my head. Oh gosh. Yeah. I mean, y'all are acting like y'all are frightened, but it's literally just 2 people fighting. Y'all have seen fights before. Well, then again, this is 2 people that are godlike, so I guess you could say demigods. But what did she do? Oh, gosh. Oh, but if you kill him, he's just going to be reincarnated as someone else.
We finally have freedom.
Oh. She took his freedom.
Thus began a long
meant-
and painful cycle of death and rebirth.
He took
for
her freedom. That's okay. That's what I was trying to say.
Some lives were spent in
And yes, I did see that it was the old man from the 4 Maidens
No matter
tale.
what, his mind would eventually turn back to the task he had been burdened with. And as the centuries went on, Ozma began to learn the importance of living with the souls with which he
Okay.
had been paired. But no matter where or how he lived, her presence was always felt.
So the
If
kids.
humanity were ever to stand a chance of being united,
Huh.
one thing was clear.
He had to destroy Salem.
Knowing he could never rid the world of her through any mortal means,
Yeah.
Ozma sought out the power of the relics.
I was about to say,
Armed with
how
my
can you do
knowledge,
that though?
He believed he could fulfill his promise to the god of light.
That's pretty cool. I like that transition.
Where are the other relics?
He asked me his questions,
What powers do they possess?
and though I gave him my answers,
How do I destroy Salem?
not all of them were to his liking. You can't.
Oh. Wow. And I just heard the rain kick in whenever she said you can't destroy Salem. And then, oh gosh, so many things I've got to cover now. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so obviously, yes, this is why I was told to rewatch it and then come back to y'all later. I might be recording the coming back to y'all later. I don't know where I'll be recording that, honestly. Because tonight for me is Thursday, which means it's going to be a full day of driving to try to get back home tomorrow, or at least tomorrow for me. So yeah. First thoughts that it's only going to be like a minute or 2, because we are already 30 minutes into this video, and it is, yeah, and my thoughts for rewatching it and stuff like that are probably going to be at least another 5 to 10 minutes. So this is probably going to be one of the longer videos that I do for this, but oh my gosh, I'm definitely going to have like an outline type thing that I'm going to tackle, because in the back of my head I was thinking, and yeah, sometimes my hair, in case you were wondering why I was doing this, I was kind of like self-conscious about my hair, but who cares about that? Y'all know how my mind works. I always go a mile a minute. But yeah, in my head as watching it, because I know y'all have, you know, y'all have hyped this episode up a lot, and it is definitely a great episode, but it's a lot to kind of digest in one sitting, like a lot of y'all said, because what I kept doing mentally is like, oh, I've definitely got to go back to that. Oh, I've got to go back to that. I'm definitely going to go back to that as well. Oh, that's quite a thought. But yeah, one of the biggest things that clicked in my head was kind of like, oh, those 4 children are the original 4 maidens. Or at least that's what I'm believing in my head right now. They didn't explicitly say that they were the 4 maidens, but, you know, they had 4 children, and I'm presuming that they were the 4 maidens, because we have 4 girls come back into play later on when he's that old man in the, you know, in the cabin who hasn't been out in forever. Or at least I'm presuming that's him. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of connectivity that I've got to connect, and I've got to definitely just rewatch it, you know, write some notes down, or, you know, keep them somewhere. But yeah, first thoughts are simply, I gotta come back to y'all. So yeah, that is pretty much it. And I guess since I'm not ending this, pass it off to a future version of me. Okay, so I thought I was going to be either sitting in the front seat, or sitting at the home location, or somewhere else besides back here in the back of the semi-truck, but you know what, here we are, we're in the back of the semi-truck, and the place that I'm located tonight is the place that has planes fly overhead. So if you hear that noise, yes, sorry, blah 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 blah. I know, I apologize, y'all never hear it, but I think the planes are flying pretty low tonight, so y'all might hear it. But nonetheless, I know y'all might kind of differ with my opinion right here at the beginning, but honestly, I don't know if I had to watch it a couple different times to actually fully grasp this whole story, because you can find, hold on, let me slow myself down there. You could watch this episode right here, this one particularly, and you can come up with something new to talk about it every single time you watch it. If you watch it 15 times, on that 15th time, you probably found a little nugget in there that you didn't realize was there before, that you could probably talk about it. And honestly, after watching it a couple more times, I feel like I could have talked about it right afterwards, because granted, yes, I wouldn't have, you know, got everything, you know, a little bit more lined up for myself, but I would have still been scatterbrained, and I'm going to be scatterbrained right now as well, even with these afterthoughts. But really, the story was pretty easy to keep, you know, track of, and you didn't have to kind of be like, oh, I gotta stop and pay 100% attention and this and that. But yeah, pretty much in a nutshell, we start off with the story, and it's pretty much, you know, she's kind of a Rapunzel type character who's locked away in a tower. But the difference is, and I told y'all that plane's gonna fly overhead, but the difference is her dad locked her away in a tower, and it wasn't some, you know, it wasn't Mother Gothel or something like that. Granted, yeah, Mother Gothel, I think, is from the Disney-fied version, but it wasn't Mother Gothel or nothing like that. It was her dad that locked her away and took her freedom away, and it's kind of a nice little twist on the whole, you know, Rapunzel tale. So I kind of like that. I kind of got the gist of who we're dealing with here, and you know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't quite know what the big deal is about what Ozpin, and you know what, I'll save that for a little bit later. And I won't call him Ozpin, I'll call him Ozma, because I did find out that that was his original name, because we started this thing and it turns out that, you know, Ozma is the one who went up there and saved her from the tower and this and that, and they had an instant connection, and he was actually in it for the, you know, he had integrity and all this other stuff. He had, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not necessarily integrity, but he had true intentions and wanted justice, and pretty much he just wanted things to be made right. And that's why he went up there. He didn't go up there to win the heart of her, but they still had that instant connection anyway, and they loved each other. And see, here's the problem, is I get both sides. I get where Salem's coming from. I get it. I truly 100% get it. Because when she got out of the tower, and yes, I am not even going through these notes whatsoever, but she got out of the tower. I don't even think I really hit on it, but, you know, she got out of the tower and she experienced freedom and she found love with somebody. And, you know, after all those years of being cooped away in the tower, granted, I kind of thought to myself the second time watching it, I was like, why didn't she just kind of use her magic and just kind of whirlwind herself out of the tower? But that's a, you know, that's not even here nor there, but it's... I get where she's coming from is the problem. She's been locked away, she found all this, and then the love of her life that saved her from the, the prison that she was living in, then gets killed. And she, of course, you know, she goes to the gods. She's like, bring him back. This is unfair, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I'm not trivializing it, but I'm not meaning to trivialize it. I'm just kind of getting through it so I can kind of just be like, I get it. She was hurt, just like anybody else is hurt out there who loses a loved one. They get angry at God. They demand justice. They claim it isn't right. Why did you do this? And I get that. I truly get that. But, you know, what I don't like. Oh my gosh. Well, there's so many things I could say and I want to say. But I also don't want to sit here for 20 to 30 minutes explaining my thought process between the whole thing. I want to be able to just kind of tackle kind of little tidbits here and there. And just something I didn't like. I like it, but I don't like it. I like the storytelling aspect of it. That's a good way of putting it. I don't like what they did, but I like the story aspect. They pretty much created a new, because of what she did and her selfishness, because that's in a nutshell what they ended up claiming that it was. In her selfishness, they ended up punishing her by being immortal. So she was free, but still trapped in her prison. And this time it was a prison of being able to live. And I kind of think that would suck too. And then, oh my gosh. And then on top of that, I know I'm jumping all the way to pretty much almost the end of it. Not almost the end, but I'm jumping ahead. But then they take Ozma, or at least the God of Light. He takes Ozma and says, look, you could go down there, but, you know, this is what's the deal, and this and that. And yes, like I said, I know I'm trivializing stuff, but, and yes, I know I can't get the word out of my mouth correctly, but I know I'm making kind of haste of going through it, but in a nutshell, he's like, you go down there, but there's one thing involved. It felt like it was a punishment, honestly, and I don't get that. I get it, but these guys are a little weird. I hate saying it. I kind of relate to the God of Darkness more than I do the God of Light, and that's kind of weird to say because the God of Light's kind of a prick. But the God of Darkness is kind of like, oh, that's what you want? Here you go, have it, you know? And that's what he did with, you know, Salem. I told y'all this is going to be all over the place. And that's kind of what he did with Salem. He's like, oh, you came to me, here you go, have at it. You know, you can have Ozma back. And oh, that was some good voice acting right there, you know, whenever he did come back, where he was screaming, where is he, where is he, where is he? Oh my gosh. But nonetheless, though, you know, back to the God of Light and him telling Ozma, he's like, look, you know, if you do this, though, this is the deal. You're going to go and search for all these relics, And you're also going to, when you do die, if you accept this, when you die, you will be brought back, but you're going to be in another person's body, making sure that you are never alone. It's as if the God of Light is playing tricks, and you know, he's like, you know what, Salem, you're immortal, but you're going to have to be alone being immortal. But over here, Ozma, you know, the one that you want to be with, he gets to forever be with somebody and never alone, but he has to never be alone without you. And I find that to be kind of like, oh my gosh, that is terrible. Why did you do that? That was kind of, oh my gosh. I like the story, you know, the storytelling aspect of it, but it's like, oh my gosh, what the frick are you doing? And, oh, geez. Like I said, with this episode in general, you can find 15 different things 15 different times that you're watching it. So, yeah, with the relics, we had creation, destruction, choice, and knowledge. Now, we've seen the knowledge relic, and that's the one telling us the story, of course. You know, Jinn, Jinn, because I know I've been corrected in the comments of the previous reaction with the spelling and, you know, the way I was saying it. And, you know, rightfully so. I need to be corrected when I need to be corrected. So, I don't know if that's kind of... He said that, you know, the God of Light said those were the ideals of humanity, you know, when, you know, the 4 relics were the ideals of humanity is creation, destruction, choice, and knowledge. And I don't quite know what to think about that, nor what to say about it. At least now I know that there's 4 relics, there's 4 maidens, and the number 4 seems to be really heavy in this show, so I don't know if that's something or not, but it is what it is. And then, you know, I did tackle the Ozma, okay, yeah, I got that, and yes, I am, you know, my mind got to the notes here, and I was like, okay, I did tackle that. I did talk about how Ozma felt like he was being punished too, you know, but, and speaking of 4s, because the 4 relics, the 4 maidens, I don't think it was explicitly said in it. I know I'm going to have to go through the episode like a 4th or 5th time and check it out, but I don't think it was explicitly said. But Salem and Ozma, I'm trying to remember say Ozma, but Salem and Ozma had 4 children. So I'm just going to take a wild guess and say that they were the 4 original maidens. So that's just me speculating. I don't believe that they explicitly said it in the episode or nothing like that, but maybe they're the 4 original maidens. I'm believing so, but you know, you kind of got to remember that the tale of the 4 maidens was kind of a fairy tale in this world, so maybe it was embellished a little bit, and maybe the daughters were the original 4 maidens. And then I don't know if it was explicitly said, but I believe Salem killed the 4 daughters and killed, you know, Ozma, and then, you know, I'm wondering if maybe... No, that wouldn't have happened, would it? Okay, I don't know. My mind's kind of going a little out to left field there, so that's just thoughts in my head. I don't know if it's true. But, he did ask the Relic of Knowledge. He asked them 3 questions. He already asked 3 questions, so the final question was, how do you destroy Salem? And she said, or the interface, or whatever it is, said that you can't. But the God of Light did say, this is what the God of Light said, is you must learn the importance of life and death, only then you will rest. So there is a way to destroy Salem, is getting her to to learn the importance of life and death. So I don't know if that's possible, considering she jumped into the, the pool of darkness, pretty much. I don't know if she can learn now the importance of life and death because of that. But the God of Light did tell her that, is once you learn the importance of life and death, you can rest, which means you can then die once you learn the importance. So there is a way to destroy her. So technically, that Relic of Knowledge got that one wrong. Other than that, though, the Relic of Knowledge said, see, he asked 3 questions right away, right out the gate with that relic when we see that he first found it. But when Rwby did the Relic of Knowledge, Jen, I'll just go with Jen. Jen said that she had 2 questions left, which means somebody asked her a question within, the 100-year span. So we know that Ozma asked, 3 questions when he first found it, so he used up the 100 years right there. But I'm wondering, just me, I don't know if it's, anybody else's speculation, but I'm wondering who asked that first question and what was that first question, since she had 2 questions left. So, and I'm wondering what's the next question going to be. But I'm wondering what we're going to find out in the next episode, because honestly, y'all, I feel like that it was not, I don't know if I disagree with what Ozma did, because all he was telling her is, look, this isn't right, blah, blah, blah. He didn't necessarily do nothing wrong, Honestly, he kept it away from them because he knew that if he told them that there's no way to defeat Salem, that then they would get discouraged and quit trying to fight the good fight. So, did he really do anything wrong? All he was doing is keeping... Honestly, he has a personal life too, he can keep his relationship a secret if he wanted to. I mean, that's literally the only big thing I see that he was keeping away from them, is you can't defeat Salem because she's immortal. And granted, I know different. She isn't immortal because she can rest once she learns the importance of life and death. But I don't think it was a bad thing that he kept it from them, because he doesn't want to cause panic. I understand that. Oh my goodness, there's so many different things that we could say about this episode in general. It's a nice little story. I love the story. It's kind of like a modern day fairy tale if you kind of mix in some aspects of Rapunzel in there. It's kind of a modern day fairy tale. That's cool. I like it. It's, it's something different. So, I guess we can go ahead and jump down to the comments and discuss it in more detail. I don't know if this is kind of what everyone had in mind whenever they told me, hey, watch it again, maybe watch it a 3rd time and, get some expounded thoughts on it and stuff like that. But I kind of feel I kind of, looking back, kind of halfway feel the same way as I did after watching it the first initial time. Granted, my mind is a little more focused, if you can call that focused. But, yeah, I think I'm done. For now. I think I'm done for now. In the next episode, though, it's only a 13-minute episode, which is kind of, I guess they were like, you know what, we did 26 minutes on you earlier with this episode, so we're just going to do 13 this time. But y'all know what? It's y'all's turn. Jump down in the comments, hit the like, tickle to subscribe, don't be texting and driving, and as Mr. Rogers always says...
And I like you as you are, I do.